I'm Heather from Heather Conley Photography. I'm an architectural photographer in Connecticut, and I'm just here at a commercial property shoot this morning. And I was thinking about weather on the way here, and I haven't really ever done a video about weather watching, I'll call it. Making predictions and using your judgment to pick which day to shoot a project is really, really important. So I start with the premise of thinking about the fact that what we want to do is get the shot in the camera. So getting the shot in the camera is the most important part of shooting your projects, because it's going to minimize retouching costs, it's going to minimize production time, on the back end, post-production time. So you can use your images much more quickly, and it's going to just be less in cost and time all around. So doing everything you can to get the photo in the camera is going to be only helpful to you. So watching weather is a lot of what I do. I call myself a weather whisperer, because over time you just start to develop these sensibilities about choosing the day, choosing which day. So always when we book a shoot, we book a main date and a rain date. And we do that because weather is unpredictable, especially in New England. So typically the days are not more than 4 to 7 days apart. So I'll typically book them, let's say a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Wednesday, Thursday, a Tuesday, Friday. That's pushing it a little bit, but I do try to keep them within 1 to 2 days of each other. And then I start watching weather about 4 to 5 days out, and then I continue to watch the weather. I crisscross 3 different apps or sources for weather, and I see if 2 of the 3 are predicting X, then favorability, then I go with that. And then I also use a guideline of 20% precipitation. So anything that's 20% or less is pretty favorable. So for example, today for the shoot, it was raining this morning. It was pouring. I woke up, skies were cloudy, and I knew there was blue sky behind there, but sometimes you have to take a chance. So the weather models had shown that in a couple hours it would be nice out. So the great news is it is, and a lot of times I've taken chances. I would say they're intentional chances. They're not just really willy-nilly chances. I've been as close as 15 minutes away from a shoot, and the skies are completely cloudy, and I'm praying that there's blue sky down the road. I say that because sometimes I can travel more than an hour to go to a shoot, so use that as a guideline as well. If your location is more than an hour away, first, you definitely want to change your weather apps to the location where you're going to be, not where your phone is, but where you're going. And that might seem like a little thing, but it's important. And then I also suggest, like I said, multiple models to choose, make your final decision. So once we have that main date, we have the rain date. As we get about 1 to 2 days out, one of those dates drops, and then the other date is the date. So I ask my clients to hold the dates equally as if we're shooting on both days, and then voila, one of the days will drop, and so that becomes some freedom. We drop the day. So then we have our shoot date, and then we work from there with the weather. A couple things to consider when you're looking at the weather, and maybe the night before the shoot, there's heavy rains, or even this morning there were heavy rains. So I did take a little bit of a chance because there are going to be puddles, there are going to be wet marks. The pavement here isn't completely dried, but the great news is I lucked out today. The pavement is all black asphalt. Gray cement tends to show the wet marks a little bit more. So I lucked out. I also photographed the property from down below, from the highway. There was a really beautiful upshot. So I have a couple views for the client, and I always give my clients at least 2 views of a perspective of a property or a space or a building, so that they have something to choose from. So it's never, if I take one shot, it was because there was only one shot available. So that is what I wanted to talk to you today about weather watching and some things to consider. And I hope it helps you on your next architectural project shoot. If you want to learn more about working with an architectural photographer like me, visit my website, heatherconleyphotography.com, and I'll see you next time.